I just finished dealing cards for 8 hours. I do my puzzles in between my shifts. It's perfect. 20 minutes. I get a 20-minute break every hour to an hour and 20 minutes. That's all you need when learning a new complicated skill, such as chess or music. Sometimes I print out a Grandmaster game. Sometimes I just practice. Puzzles at work. I'm starting to do one puzzle per break. And I just pick it apart, and I might read some. And then I do speed chess while streaming, in part to prove competence, and that my rapid climb on chess.com was not a fluke. I don't have a vibrator up my butt. Sitting in my phone booth alone. It's making good eye contact, but if you slow-mo it, in that little clip, look at his face. His eyebrows go up every time it buzzes. Don't do that shit. It's hateful. And I could probably show you the game because I was live streaming it. So don't accuse me of cheating. It's way harder to play bullet chess than it is rapid chess. And I think that at least until a certain level, there's plenty to prove. The athlete is progressing at a good pace in longer time controls. Let's look at I'm killing it on my piano journey. And teach a creative person structure. It's hard to teach a very proper person how to be creative. So I learned how to be creative, screw around on the piano, some theory, and now I'm getting my technique down. Better late than never, right? Crap. This was my last rapid game, which I played last night at work. I'm really trying to focus on quality over quantity. I'm so much stronger than some adults who have got their butts kissed, and I'm very early in my chess journey. I'm going to slaughter everybody. If you don't have a title, look out for me. I've got to figure out over the board. I've developed too many bad habits online. I'm trying to figure out if online has any place in my chess improvement plan at all anymore. Fucking what time waste. But it is where the opportunity is. Also, I want to be the best to have started in adulthood. Yeah, so it's pretty easy to beat white here. I mean, terrible play. This is why I don't play at work anymore. It's just super sloppy. Yeah, because you move your crap. What the hell's happening? There we go. Yeah, it's pretty simple. You got to move your stuff, and you're threatening mate now. So I had to defend mate, and now you get my queen. Real simple, but it is speed chess, so you'll see mistakes like that. Now, where I have a lot of potential, I mean, these I'm seeing this shit quick. I mean, that's fast. So I'm going to be a force to be reckoned with, even in speed chess. Maybe especially in speed chess. I can't believe that Tyler 1 and others have not been able to just climb to 2000 in blitz and even bullet chess. It's not impressive play. My peak is 2074. We're going to beat up on less talented chess athletes here. Oh, gosh. Yeah, you bastard. I got tore up there. Won't happen frequently. That game felt really slow. Like the clock was moving slow. Not a good sign. And now you're playing extremely, extremely fast. Oh wow. No. Jeez. Let's be a little sharper. Come on. If you take my knight, I can sacrifice my rook. Okay. So I have to do that. Nope. We'll take one on time. Get me going. This is sloppy. I didn't stay cool. I got my ass kicked. The hell is that? Where are you going? the hell are you doing? Uh-oh. Never lose a game of bullet chess on time. Not saying I'm good about that, but that should be a goal. The devastating man. We've had our fair share of run-ins. I'm not impressed. I'm not afraid. Ah, shit. Okay. Take the luck. Take the luck. I'm gonna. Of course, I'd love to. Okay, let's force your queen to be the one to take. Great. It's just great. Couldn't be much happier. Okay, if you want a pawn, I'm gonna get my rooks together. My king safe. Love that. Don't love that so much. It's a bad move. I mean, it's a good move. Where do you want to go with that? Ooh, make him think a little bit. And it's all over. You can have the pawn, especially if you're gonna give me yours. It's super kind of you. Okay, this is where that stupid knight comes. Okay. Can I do that? I can do that, right? Oh, no, I need to take that pawn. Knight takes on c2. Oh, well. Speed chess. Forgive yourself. I'm not sure which was better. I know that's winning. I'm trying not to be as aggressive with my pawns early. In speed chess. The hell is that? What kind of move is that? So sometimes I forget about this. I'll take a rook. Oh. No, I'll take the chess battle. I appreciate it. Let's be quick at this point. It's pinned. Fuck you. I can't let your knight take an amount that defends your rook. So. All right, prick. Let's beat your asses. With very average play for me, not average for a good player. When I say good player, I'm referring to club players. I'm a very fine online player. It's not real chess. This is not real chess. Chess is an art. And interestingly, I'm gonna end up, if I have any friends in chess, it's gonna be the players. Not that I dislike the streamers. I dislike the environment they have to operate in. It's weird. I'm fans. I'm a fan. I'm like their biggest fan out of all their fans. I'm a fan. At first, I got their autographs because it's weird making friends as an adult. So if they came to the club, or if I saw a grandmaster at the club, which St. Louis by far has the most grandmasters living here of any city in America and that come through who don't live in St. Louis. It's the best chess in America. I'll probably end up living in Charlotte at some point. I'm only 30 years old. I'm on fire about the deliberate practice. What is the potential of an adult brain and music, memory / chess? There's really good ways to prove it. I'm just on fire about it, and there's no certainty with AI. So I've got a table games dealing license. I can move wherever the fuck I want. A lot of corporations have a casino in many different major cities, and I talked to a guest who was visiting from Charlotte, and he said they're actually putting their first casino in Charlotte right now, which is amazing to me that Charlotte doesn't already have casinos. But my point is, I don't need your money. Not to be disrespectful, I want to be included as much as is appropriate without getting my life ruined. Hashtag call it out, hashtag me too. Men suck, right? But I don't need any money. I probably wouldn't take any money. I would want to participate to the extent it helps my chess. As far as growing a club, I don't give a fuck if chess grows or dies. I want Hans Niemann to be successful. I would prefer America invest in America, just like India invests in India. And I don't think that's unreasonable for American chess to take care of their own. And that means especially Hans Niemann. He's the best young player in America, one of the best in the world. And he's no weirder than Bobby Fischer. And Bobby Fischer was it. He was the only one from America to ever be it. And had Hikaru Nakamura not been in Magnus Carlsen's era, there's a strong possibility he's one of the best ever by wins, not just by ability. But that's just life. He was born in the era of Magnus, and no one's going to be the best except for Magnus. So Hans Niemann is your hope. And just to, it's got to really hurt Hans Niemann and other American grandmasters to see their own country bring in foreign workers. And I don't mean that mean. That's not their fault, the foreign workers' fault for taking advantage of it. And I don't think that it's wrong to say as an American. Well, America doesn't have enough chess. If we had good enough players, we would, make it all American-born citizens and promote them and build chess that way. How are you ever going to know? How will you ever know if American kids want to do it or could do it? I promise you there's nothing special in India's water and Russia's water. We're all born with the same components in our brain, male or female, at least similar. Genders has different personalities sometimes, but you're never going to find out, is my point. If you stamp a Georgian or a Italian master as American, that's cool. We can be grateful, just like the NBA has Luka Doncic and Wemby and all those players, but they're not Americans. Luka Doncic is never begging to play on the American Olympiad team or Olympic team. So why on earth would we do that to our young people? And it's discouraging. Why would you keep working on chess? Even someone as strong as Carissa Yip, which they did the right thing giving her a chance. Or Jennifer Hughes, an example. I'm assuming she's super book smart. One of the best women in the world, though she's not now because she's not playing. I saw her interview. She wanted to reach 2,400 before she quit. Hello, viewers. And that's just very sad. Not that someone chose to pursue chess or a young woman chose to pursue chess. But what's the excitement when you see women and men from other countries getting the opportunities, even if they are better? And I guarantee you got to be about the third best of any country to even have a chance to get the opportunity to play in St. Louis. It's very prestigious to the invitational top level events. But at least the third best player of India. Otherwise, you're probably not going to get a chance to come play in the Sinquefield Cup or a few other tournaments where they bring the best in the world, not just America. But Hans Niemann is as good or slightly higher rated than a few from other countries who we've invited over him, not just for an American event, but for an open global event. And we have one of the best in the world right here. And that's got to just be demoralizing, even for people that don't like Hans, like Sam Shanklin and others who are a little bit older now, but still close to the best in the world. Like, you're bringing them to not only have all their opportunities there and better sponsorships than America has by a lot. They're treated like heroes, whereas here, if you're not a basketball player, football player, and I was as a kid, and I had friends through that, even though it was a small school and we were good at sports, but it wasn't Rockhurst and Kansas City. It wasn't CBC in St. Louis. But still, if I went to St. Louis, they might have known the team. I might have made a friend because they just know I play sports. That doesn't happen in American chess. So there's no fucking incentive at all. And even if that, let's say, third-rated Indian prodigy is super respectful, and I think they are. They seem like really good kids. And they're super talented. They deserve all the wins and everything they're getting. But they might write America a thank you note for the opportunity to play here and continue to improve, chase my goals. But I know every human in that situation is going back to India saying, thank God I'm not Hans Niemann. Thank God I'm not an American kid. Because they are our competition. We are bragging on Instagram, dancing. And some Indians, respectfully, have said, we're better than America. And they absolutely are. And for them to go back on a plane in their head, they're going back to Vishy Anand saying, psychologically, I've got them in this Olympiad. I fucking own America. Because they're investing in us. They're giving us prize money, paying for our hotel stay probably. When there's an American, mainly Hans Niemann, that is as good or better than me. And Hans Niemann in his own country has to watch Indian people get his invites that he has qualified by rating for. And it's amazing he hasn't quit. I'll always support Hans Niemann, even if he is a prick. Because India would never do that. If they had an event and America started getting good, they would try to find ways to avoid inviting the American. And hey, the Americans qualify by rating. All right. You make sure there's no better accommodations for the American than Prague and Gukesh. You make sure they know what country they're in. But in America, come on in, kick us. And if you kick us until we're down, bury us. And we'll pay you to do it. It's just like corporate tech. It's disgusting. But going back to the Charlotte, St. Louis thing, Charlotte seems a little bit new blood, more unique players. And I'm a big fan of St. Louis. All the players have been nice to me. The lower rated, the nicer, of course. But it is most of the same as a lot of people, but it's most of the same people at the amateur level. And I think Charlotte would be exciting. I'm from St. Louis, so that would give me a little bit of time to experience something new and then be back before my granny gets to where she's too old to really play piano with me and stuff, so I could get the last good years of her life after my stint in Charlotte. Anyway, in rant, but I'll never be controlled. I'll never be controlled. I don't really want to be a part of any development programs. It would look great. Hey, he was 1,500, and then he worked with us, and he's 1,900, or I could become a master eventually. I mean, it's no small feat if I dedicated the time, got an opportunity to play full time. Okay, yeah, but I've taken all the losses, the lonely hours. Some people have not been nice to me, though the majority, of course, are very kind, and the lectures are fabulous. No one's mean to me. But some people have been. It's kind of like the Caitlin Clark thing on a much smaller scale, because I'm no Caitlin Clark. Fuck you. Quit hitting her. Quit hitting her. The only reason that people watch the WNBA is because it's Caitlin Clark. No, I don't think so. We've been here. We've been building it. They watch us. No, we don't. We watch Caitlin Clark. If Caitlin Clark goes away, and this is not mean, do a study or look at the game numbers of the fans who've watched or the YouTube streams. If Caitlin Clark goes away, nobody fucking cares. It's not right. It's not that some of them are better than her right now because she's young. She'll be probably one of the best in the league. And you work just as hard as the men in the NBA do. But you don't deserve more pay. I haven't looked at the facts, but it seems like you probably don't deserve more pay. And if you do, it's because of Caitlin Clark. It's reality. They want to watch Caitlin Clark. Just like in chess, people want to watch Levy Rosman, the Botez sisters. They don't even want to watch Magnus Carlsen. He's too good, unless you're already in the chess world. And so I would never put up with that shit. I would go play online for fun. I would go play in prisons, of course, non-rated. If there's any political bullshit, I'm too old for that. I'm grateful that I played chess during COVID lockdown because I know how I am. With that situation, what was going on in my life and the world at the time, I could have very well ruined it. And I permanently fucked. And I've Uber-driven people who are in that position. And some have kind of salvaged their life, but they're 50 and dating. And they have a lot on their record. And it's hard to get a job. And they're still going to classes. And then anyone they're trying to marry to start a family, and of course, then you got to hurry even as a man at 40, 50. You got to try to get a girl that's nice and going to be good to your family. When you have less to offer and you're working through a lot of financial issues. And had it not been for me just playing chess over and over and over during COVID lockdown, finding something to distract me from the bullshit, who knows? But I'm free, drinking a Pepsi in a soundproof phone booth because life is perfect. All right. This guy was hilarious. I'm gonna close this video or this stream with no, I don't want to do that. What was the guy's name? He was on Joe Rogan, but I watched him several other times. He's a nut job. I wouldn't trust him around anyone. I think his last name was Bishop. He got himself addicted to hard drugs. Brian Bishop, that's his name. He got himself addicted, I think it was to meth, intentionally, just to prove he could break it. And someone said, well, what if you become addicted permanently? What if you never recover and you ruin your life? He said, I'm sick of kids who are addicted to a substance and they just act like their life's over and they just bitch about it and they never get clean. And he said, I'm going to do it just to prove it's possible. You're going to get addicted to meth. You're not just going to try a little bit of meth or a little bit of, a minor substance like maybe marijuana. You're just going for the fucking meth and a lot of it. And then, everyone's personality is different. I know my grandpa struggled with some substances and my granny was adopted. And there's not any issues. They're kind people, but some challenges mentally there. So, yeah, I don't think everyone should just go do meth for fun and an experiment. Like, if you want to experiment or to run a valid study, you have a hypothesis. Like, how about you play chess and see how good you can get at chess and you don't get addicted to meth? Maybe I'm crazy though. But his one of the final things before I stopped watching him, it was interesting. He said, well, if I fail and I'm wrong and I can't break the meth, I guess I'll just sit inside all day for the rest of my life. Fucking meth head. Yeah, some people did that because they thought the first hit wouldn't fuck their life up. And you're going to do it. This is weird. And it's all kinds of, he says the most outrageous shit because that's how you get big on the internet in part. But it's weird. He's kind of charismatic. I like him a little bit. But he's absolutely nuts. Yeah. He's just going to do meth. So the audio is on. Listen to this. This is baffling.
It's an interesting way to self-teach.
Win-win. Drug addicts are weak. I'm currently developing an addiction to methamphetamines just so I can show everyone how easy it is to quit.
Wow. It's an interesting way to self-teach.
It's a win-win. Either I kick the habit, which I will, and we could all stop glamorizing recovering addicts, or I could spend the rest of my life in a motel smoking crystal meth away from my family.
Like you're really just doing just for the struggle.
Does he look like he's joking?
Sorry, what the fuck did you say?
Yeah, I've changed my views on mental health after a lot of Uber rides. I never struggle with like gratitude, but it does make you see things differently. I didn't grow up in a mansion, but I wasn't having to work at Wendy's at age 16 while I'm going to school. My parents did drugs to fund their drug addiction. I've seen some shit. And my middle ground has become, okay, if you think like Brian Bishop, which I don't think that extreme. I'm not gone that much on the other end of the spectrum. Lost my friend to suicide, and I was very emotional. Consider myself a mental health advocate. Let's talk about it. Okay, be vulnerable, man. Blah blah blah. But a combination of just seeing people that really have some shit going on, and understanding and living, experiencing the fact that men. People might feel bad. People might want to help. People might be fake because they want to be bad people. But at the end of the day, I've heard too many stories. You won't get as many job opportunities. You won't have access to the type of women you would have otherwise if they think you're cute or you're funny or you're smart. And you don't need to be mad about that. But one story that I remember, just the worst one, a girl had lost her dad to suicide, and she was a big mental health advocate. Started events and groups in college to raise awareness for men's mental health. And this was a woman, of course. And we were dancing. We were having a good time at karaoke, got her number. And she asked what I did. And I told her about my tech stuff. And it was more during COVID. And I, without getting personal, told her about the YouTube stuff and why I moved to St. Louis. I got my table games dealing license. She said, "Oh, you're a table games dealer?" Like, you could tell she wasn't as about that. But as soon as I mentioned my YouTube channel, and it wasn't my main motive, but my friend took his life, and I brought that up, and in part because I felt bad for her that she lost her dad. No person should, have that happen, because as a kid, especially, you feel like, did I do something? Was I his last straw? Could I have helped? And of course, as a young person, it's not your fault. But she was really hurting, and it was just a stranger. But I'm like, well, what if my friend needed someone to be kind? And maybe that night, someone, he was trying to talk to him, and he didn't want to talk to his friends, didn't talk to me about it. And I was probably the second most likely person he would have talked to. I can only think of one person, and I'm pretty sure I'd be number 2 or 3. He didn't talk to the number 1 either. So, like, what if this girl's no one to talk to? And sometimes you don't want to talk to your friends or family. So I'm not a woman, but I'm trying to see her perspective. Like, maybe someone didn't listen to my friend or talked too much, or he was trying to ask for help with a stranger, and that could have saved his life. You never know. So I tried to make her feel better. In part, I lost my friend, and what you're going through is different, but you're not alone. And you could tell, like, her mentality shifted to, like, she was happy that someone was being kind to her, but now I'm in the bucket of the man who let her down. Instead of finding me attractive, dancing, doing duets at karaoke, drinking, having a good time. And I thought about that. Like, okay, so you're a men's mental health advocate, literally. Like, you've solely focused on men's mental health. You've started groups. You've researched it, how to think about men, how to not withhold opportunities. If you have a gut reaction, how to control it. And you're still human. So agreeing with you, supporting what you support, is actually bad. And long story short, some people will, swim across the ocean, bang on DC's doors. But when it comes time to actually care about men who might not feel good, nah, fuck that. It's just human. So I'm a weird mental health advocate, because unfortunately most of my ideas revolve around suck it the fuck up. And in part of this, because if you suck it up, at least if you get through your shit, you won't have a world of problems to deal with. I think that sometimes you open up, and then genetic mental illnesses are real. Like, that's not debatable. With all the tech we have, like, you can take a scan of the brain, and there are different parts that light up for different people, and some that are hyperactive, some that are bigger, and it's just interesting. I took a SPECT scan at one point. But if you kind of start to feel better, then you're like, okay, well, now I got to deal with this person checking on me. And now this girl thinks if I marry her, which we're going to get married, and I opened up because we wanted to be open about everything. Well, now she's going to think, well, in 20 years, if he has that episode, how's he going to take care of our kid? And I think men struggling could absolutely do everything. I think you'd be amazed how many people are going through some major mental shit that are functioning highly. But that's going to be their first instinct. Whether it be employment, whether it be dating, whether it be some friends. and it's just not worth it to talk about. But I don't recommend getting addicted to crystal meth just to see if you can break it. It's not a good idea. I'm curious how that ended. I don't really want to look it up because I feel like giving him attention is weird. I want to look up stories that I'm not into what you're into, but that's inspiring. How'd you do it? Not okay. Well, maybe if I do crystal meth and see how hard it is to break it, I can get some views too. Oh man, that would be a weird world, wouldn't it? You can be an influencer, but not a motivational or a fitness guru or a chess player or a musician. Who can break? How much crystal meth can you take in one day and not die? You got to push to the edge because it's a competitive environment. We lost Jimmy. Fuck. Someone telling Jimmy's mom. Hey, how many doses did he take? Did you notice how he was acting 2 before he died? Can I get to that level, huh? And win the prize? I'm competitive. How much meth can we do? Party, party, party. And then the contest becomes which fraternity can take that much and not die. Like who can have the fewest deaths, not who can break the meth habit. Who can survive? How many did you lose? Yeah, the Kappa people. Only 2 freshmen. 3? Oh, okay. 3 moms don't have a kid anymore. But no more alcohol poisoning, right? Right, teacher? We'll do hard drugs now. But anyway, that addiction story of Brian Bishop, it's a funny segue into my approach with chess addiction, which I did play a lot of chess. I got pretty into chess during COVID to the point where it's all I wanted to do. But I have a dog and I'm an adult, so I had to work a lot. And I couldn't go to the clubs. So then you just have a phone and people could be cheating. It could be bad, develop bad habits. So I'm trying to break that. But what I do agree with Brian Bishop on is we should not wait till the perfect time. We should not, we have to have this plan. And then only then will I start breaking the meth habit or stopping playing bad online chess. You got to go immediately. That's when people get really bad with addiction or mental health issues in general, is they wait at the perfect time. And I'm still going to go to the club. I've accepted I will play until I reach 1800 USCF. And then if I get there, I have the option to quit. But by then, if I got to 1800 USCF, that's over the board. That's not online. Online's a joke. Without any training as a kid or even knowing how the pieces move until almost my 26th birthday. And I haven't been doing this full time. I've only attended some lectures. I've been working. So people would recognize, there's some natural talent there. And that would be a great story for chess. And they might help me more, which again, I don't really need help. But it would be too interesting to not try if I got to 1800 USCF in like the next year, which is doable. Because then you get a long time of my best mental years, like at least a decade before I fall off much. Levon Aronian won a big event at age 42. But I can't be too worried about the result, which is the main problem with online chess. You see the rating pop up or go down after every single game. And people aren't playing. People are playing stupid stuff that would never happen over the board. And even at the 1200 level, 2000s do it. It's terrible for my brain. But when you resolve that you're not going to quit until then, like if let's say I just lost or I had a brain, like something happened. I got the chess version of the yips, which is where you start a good pitcher like Rick Ankiel, a professional baseball pitcher, just goes from throwing laser accurate fastballs and curveballs to throwing it like not a ball, not it was close to where the umpire is watching it sail over the fence. Like that's a major league, that's a millionaire. And he just forgot how to throw a baseball. What the fuck? And some never recover. It's a very strange phenomenon. But let's say that happened to me in chess. Okay. I'm not quitting until 1800. So if I go back down to 0 over the board, I'm not quitting. So let's keep going. That's how I'm going to be from now on. And I'm going to do my best to have quality online chess over quantity. So I am sleeping and stuff, but even if I spiral, I'm going to show up over the board. So these streams will be dedicated to speed chess. I'm not risking my longer time control online because it takes too long to recover. I'm going to be attending club lectures and stuff more. But feel free to follow my online journey. Challenge me. Love from India. India's awesome. India's going to kick our ass and make us like it. and I'm gonna see if maybe they need someone to wave their flag. It's embarrassing and it's sad because America has so much resources and so much going for us that we can't just take care of our people as other countries do and invest in our own. And the worst thing is America assume, like some important people, it's easier to assume that Americans don't want to learn it. Vivek Ramaswamy, who I like a lot of Vivek's ideas, I wouldn't vote for an Indian American to be president. Not because I don't recommend you do or that they shouldn't have the opportunity, because I worked in corporate tech and I saw the ganging up. I saw that we're all human. And we tend to prefer people who look and think like us, even though I think Vivek is very good and very open-minded. But Vivek was quoted, how can you expect Americans to produce good American engineers when we glamorize the quarterback over the prom, and the prom king over the nerd? And it's real simple. Not everyone is like that. And I think a lot, like my school didn't have a chess club. I never had access, so no one invited me. I think a lot of my friends, it was a weird jock group. A lot of them are into chess now, or at least I got them into it. They got busy again, but they were liking it during COVID lockdown. So some of it is it's easier to assume people are a certain way. And even if only one person wants to do it, I think that's where you find a middle ground or start. Okay, one jock wants to play chess. And what if he's trying to prank us? What if he's being mean? And what if he could grow your game? What if he could, when we're younger, get the cheerleaders to realize you're pretty cool, name your benefit, and you have to promote that one person. If it's only one person out of the millions and millions of kids in school, that is not the typical, like, stereotypical chess player. You promote that. You welcome them the way that they should people who aren't athletic. And that's, to me, how it changes. It's not to just say, like Vivek said, that we glamorize the wrong things. That's a generalization, though he's probably overall accurate. It's to take the one person at every school that is a quarterback or going to go play college basketball and say, would you like to play chess with us? And if he's mean, then that's on him. And it shouldn't be that way. I would hope that's getting better. I was never bullied, so I don't mean to speak on something I'm not qualified to. But as long as we're seeing other countries get the opportunities and invites and bring them here to play under the American Federation, you will never shift that. In the case of corporate tech, which is the same problem for America as chess is going through, we don't invest in our own. We don't have as many good players. And I'll admit that I think it's abused in corporate tech, the offshoring and the bringing people to live here while our soldiers die. It's extreme, but overall, yeah, I agree. India has more talent in tech, but they're supposed to train us, and no one makes them train us. They just give them our jobs. You're supposed to train the Americans as a consultant and go away, but we just hand them our jobs. So why would they train us? And then Americans are lazy. Well, yeah, because they're defaming us. They have 10-1, and we don't want to get fired. So it's not a fair argument. But if you incentivized Americans, or they didn't see the other American got demoted, fired, or pushed to a different team for improving, there would be a good chance that America would catch up quickly. I don't think I recognize that name on chess.com. I don't know that I'm playing you the game. But I don't know. We've got love from India. Nitin. That's not. I knew it. It's in Jaswal. And it was not spelled with the H. I'm just trying to figure that out real quick. Okay, I'm tired. I got to rest up so I can play some over the board. Dealt cards all night. Won a few bullet games. We're going to keep streaming some, but overall, I don't care about my content. Similar to the Savannah Bananas owner, I wouldn't touch chess.com for anything in case Tyler One's asked and see if he'll promote it. I want autographs in my book from big time chess people and even streamers like Anna Kramling. I think she's very nice, and she could be a lot better. And she's a type of personality and story that we could be not like friends, but we would get along well. It wouldn't just be a strictly business like transaction, which is how a lot of business is. especially if you didn't grow up. Like, I know she's got legitimate friends and stuff, but my point is, her story would be good with mine, where there's no competition. She doesn't care. Like, if I got better than her, she'd think that's weird and she'd try to pass me. I just dealt cards for fucking 8 hours, man. I'm tired. And then I play chess when I'm not doing that, and I walk my dog. And I'm not a super happy person, if you have to know the answer. Thanks for bringing it up. But she wouldn't care if I passed her. She could benefit from her game growing, and her parents are really good, so she doesn't really want to be. Like, you're never going to be as good as your parents, unless she could have dedicated her life, but she's young, but it's probably too late now. Whereas the people who would hate me would be like masters that are still trying, but they're getting older. That would be very frustrating, or international masters even. I could see them not liking me much. Women that have, I hate men foundations and call it out on Instagram would likely won't be friends. But even someone who I would get along well with in a professional relationship, I wouldn't want to work with Anna Kramling. As much as I like her. I think she's very nice. She's good at teaching. She speaks well. She's good at chess. I think she's positive. That would be like the type of person that had that Neiman thing not happen. And had I not been forced to just play and figure out that chess is not as impossible as it was made to sound, I would like Anna. I'd like to be friends with a person like that, but I'll take your autograph. I don't want to be in your video ever. If I got big enough to earn that, I don't want to. I don't want to be in their videos. Botez sisters, Levy, and not because they've necessarily done anything wrong, because of how the whole community treated Hans Niemann, even if he deserved to be labeled as a bad person. I don't know him. But the accusations and the what Neiman calls a chess mafia, I want no part of it. If you'd like to autograph my book, I would even pay you for some of your autographs. I'm a big fan. Me and my friends watched some during COVID lockdown. I'm the only one that stuck with it. And I think that too many people do dumb shit on the internet to get big, especially pretty women, which of course the women who have made it to the top of chess entertainment, they also happen to be, I'm not saying they're not talented. They don't do great videos. They're not good people. I'm saying they happen to be some of the more attractive chess players. There's no coincidence there. And I would simply prefer their autograph and then to be done with them. And I would still promote their content. That's just how I am. It's unfortunate that life has to work that way, but chess.com has a monopoly, which if you can get one, that's why you try to win the board game Monopoly, right? You don't just, you got the boardwalk and the fucking Park Place. Who's going to fix this? He's got too much power. Yes, they're doing the right thing for their business. But to use their platform for that and then talk about growing the game. And of course, all the streamers are sponsored by them, which I think they try to balance it, speaking their mind as much as they can. But at the end of the day, they're paying you. And I wouldn't trust them. I certainly wouldn't be friendly with them. But I am a fan. I think they do good stuff in a world where they could just get in the hot tub and dress a little more provocatively and not be intelligent or not try to hang around men that are extremely impressive, but I would say intimidating to even grandmaster women, let alone streamers who are, not like lower entitled, and they do it to grow their game. They care about it, and there's no money in it. So I respect that, and that's why you treat everyone decently. And if it's a kid, even if they don't deserve decent treatment, you should treat them decent. And Hans Niemann was a kid, because now just take your autograph, and I don't care if your game grows or dies. And if I figure it out, which my online numbers are good. Yeah, I was going to do that, but then I got defamed by foreign temp workers who were former Deloitte consultants from India. They refused to speak English on our soil. And instead of getting to take a trip like it was looking like I would, I had some friends in India too. The majority are great, of course. I never want to do it. You don't come into our country, take our jobs, and act like we owe you something. And it's not all of India, of course. It's a minority, but one should not be allowed to do that. And even if they were allowed, they should not do that. And there was no reason. So I don't want to go to India. Unless Viswanathan, the tiger, will be my personal coach. Then I'll move to India, Vishy. Wait, what is Shalta High? This is gonna get ugly. I know what it means, or I know what the definition is. What is that? I shouldn't go there. I'm not racist. President Trump's in power now. I can acknowledge the truth. Shelter high is basically anything goes. More corruption and stuff, depending on how you define corruption, I guess, in other parts of the world. So, oh well, can't control it. Got to do what we got to do to take care of us. That's what I experienced in corporate tech. Again, not that the majority are that way, but in some parts, it's the truth. Intelligence is your source of pride. I decided it's my identity too. Let's compete for it in America. I should get more opportunity, but not in the environment I lived in for much of my adult life. That's what Hans Niemann's going through. Empathy builds friendships. I'm the sport Hans Niemann. Okay. We got our rating up too. With 19, exactly 100 of my peak, 101 of my peak. Let's leave it there. Let's place them over the board. Yeah, of course, it's pretty bad. But oh well. That will put me probably in the top 0.6 percentile of online athletes, though it's, again, not impressive. Online chess doesn't count. Okay, I'm still in the top 0.7. So top 40,000 in the world in bullet chess, apparently. Just scratching the surface, 2039 in blitz. And of course, climbing quickly, figuring it out. My Applebee's servers. Shout out to Jake. Okay. I don't really see no harm in that. Structure is interesting. It's weird for development in the opening, but lots of advantages. the obvious one that is just being it's harder for you to check with your bishop and discover with your rooks. Okay. So there runs into the fork. So can I give that pawn if I get a check in and kill your castling rights? Or do I just want to do this shit now? Go here, we're going to see your rook. So then you have to go there. And then I'm there, but I don't really know what I want to do. Let's go here. Yeah. You can drop it back, so I don't want to do that. I guess you can have that pawn. Okay. I'm signing out for the night. Nah, I just do this for documentation. What's your rating? Challenge me daily. No, I don't take online chess seriously. I have nothing to gain. It makes me unhappy, as you acknowledge. You feel like a grumpy old man. Was it something I said? All right, I'm out.